Hey, what's up, Tom? Quick demo video for you for your 89 Sabers Obi-Wan. I got this done yesterday, and we'll go over a few things before I get this sent out in the mail to you today. This is installed with a CFX. It's a 2-button setup, so your 2 switches are under your clamp card. I made your front of your clamp card, that's your activation, and then the back here, that's your auxiliary. As you know from this kit, or I don't know if you know this or not, maybe you didn't put it together, but this kit is kind of notorious for not lining up here, with the actual silver clamp and then the card piece and then the bump out for the switches. So the bump out for the switches and the card, they line up, but they're all kind of longer than this piece. It really does bug me, but that is the nature of this kit. So I've noticed a lot of other people have the same issue, so it wasn't just me. But anyway, past that, you've got CCSabers LED pixels that we talked about in here in the emitter. You've got some pretty decent blade depth for it being a thin neck. And then you get to everything by opening up this guy right here. So you don't want to unscrew it here, although it will if you accidentally do that, but you don't want to do that. You want to unscrew it from right here. All right, so that's what we'll do. We're going to unscrew this right now. This black piece and this pum will come off as one piece, and you'll notice right here you've got pogo pins for your speaker. I decided to make this a detachable speaker because I wanted to encompass the entire speaker, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Let me open this up right here. Now, if I had to take this piece off, you'll find that, and this pops out. This is your 28mm bass speaker, and then it's got the PCB traces for the pogo pins I showed you. I wanted to encapsulate this entire speaker. I feel like you get a little bit better sound resonance that way, and the only way to encapsulate the entire thing was to put it in this pommel cap, like this. But the problem is, like, this diameter is smaller than this. So, I had to make it detachable, and then this anodized piece actually locks it in place. And you never have to take these 2 pieces apart. You could take this off as one unit. And then when you do that, you have access to your recharge port here. So, and then you do have access to your SD card, but if you find that it's a little bit of hassle getting to it, I actually made this greebly right here the chassis retention. So you'll want to just unscrew this guy. You can slide this chassis out a bit, get to everything that you need to get to, and then slide this back. But when you slide it back, make sure it's lined up. You see how the top of the board is lined up with the switch housing? So just make sure you line that up the same way. There's a divot in the chassis where this greebly grabs it on the inside and locks it in place. So just make sure that you put it back, the same way I've got it right now. And then your kill key for your static battery, I did lop the 2 sides off, and as you can see, it's kind of going this way. So if you have this kill key facing this way, this will not slide on properly. So you need to make sure that you make it just like that. And that gives you enough room to slide this over. It does say Solo Sabers over here in Arabesh right next to the recharge port. You probably don't see that very well on camera. Try to do a little something there. And then it does say Obi-Wan Kenobi right here on your chassis. The chassis is a little scratched up. I made this a tight press fit. I might try to buff this out a little bit, but what I didn't realize is this Covertech knob was sticking in a little bit inside the chamber, just a little bit from being threaded, during the machining process. So when I put this on and off a few times to make sure it fit, I was kind of grinding up against the chassis. It's not hurting anything. It's just more of an eyesore than anything else, which, I tried to go the extra step and put Obi-Wan Kenobi here, and then I jacked it all up by scratching it to death with a Covertech. So I'll buff that out. I have probably filed that down. I filed it down some, but I might do it just a tad more. So let's pull your kill key. Of course, you're not going to hear anything because we don't have the speaker in. We'll slide this guy on, make sure we lock it down in place. Just like that. Activation. Pixel's working really well. Smooth swing. Good sound resonance. That's your activation or your auxiliary. Hold it down for blade lockup. And we'll turn it off. I've got a little test blade here. We're going to throw it in. You do have one blade retention screw right here. Very small guy. So just make sure that when you're, if you loose it up to put the blade in, that you don't lose it. One thing I do like about, well, I mean, there's a lot of things I like about this hilt, but one thing I'll say that that stuck out to me is for a change, the tightness in the blade socket for these 89 Sabers, it actually comes in really handy with this guy since you have a thin neck, because it helps lock the blade in, right? Just like that. Tap for blaster deflex. Hold the auxiliary for blade lockup. And to change color, we'll hold down our auxiliary and twist our wrist. Spectrum. And then just twist the hilt. And you can cycle through all the colors. We'll stop here at a blue. When you find one you like, just tap a button. Now you got blue, right? Change blade effects. Hold down your aux and twist your wrist, but then keep the button held down. Spectrum. Keep holding it. Blade profiles. Now again, you can twist the hilt and cycle through different blade effects. You've got roughly 22 or so on here. Some of them don't pick up very well on camera. Some others do. And you'll come across a few of those blade effects that look solid in nature while you're cycling through them, but they have different pre-on and pre-off effects when when you turn it on and off. But flash on flash. And everything like that. We'll take the blade out real quick. This was a nice little Saber to install. It was different. I've installed a lot of 89s. I haven't come across this one yet, so it was nice to be able to get my hands on this and do this. So we'll just put the kill key in the same way that we took it out, right? Make sure we're not unscrewing the grenade section from the switch. We're unscrewing it back here. That's very important. I did hand tighten it as much as I could, but just be mindful, right? And then right here, we'll put our kill key back in, and then we can just put our put the back on just like that. And that is the functionality of your Saber. I hope it came out the way you like. Let me know if you got any questions, and then hopefully get this out in the mail today. Thanks.